Welcome to this tutorial on building bar charts. So we're still continuing on with this univariate categorical analysis. We have our frequency table, which is the tabular representation of a categorical distribution. We have our pie charts, which is the percent representation of a categorical distribution. Now we're going to create some bar charts. You actually create bar charts in very similar way as the pie charts in the way that we select the data. So again, we just want to select just the labels and the frequency counts, just those interior parts of the table. Do not select this percent column over here or you'll end up with two bars for every category, one that's really short and one that's really tall. It's just not the correct way to do it. So again, just the labels, just the frequencies. Now we'll come to our insert ribbon here, come back to our charts panel where we've found all the charts that we've used so far. And the bar chart is actually they call it a column chart in Excel. Okay, so we click this drop down and we want this 2D column chart. Okay, you can do the horizontal bars if you want, okay, but we're just going to do these straight up and down vertical column charts. So I've selected the labels and the frequency counts, and now I'm just going to drag this right below that pie chart that represents the same variable. Okay, so this is the basis of my pie chart, but I need a little bit more information. I need to know what the vertical axis is. I need to know what the horizontal axis is. Maybe I want to add some data labels that shows the frequency counts of each of these. These bars look a little skinny. Maybe I want to add some coloring. So we'll walk through the process of ways that you can customize this bar chart. Okay, I'm going to click on the chart so that my little formatting options come up here on the right side. Okay, I'll click this plus sign here and then check the box here to add both that horizontal and that vertical axis title. Okay, the next thing I might want to do, check this box for data labels. Okay, there's a number of different places you can place them. Okay, inside in's a good option, outside in's a good option. Just choose one that looks good for you. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is actually give those axes some titles. So this one down here clearly represents the variable. Okay, so these are the different boroughs that are represented in our data. Okay, next thing, this axis over here, this represents the frequency count. But more specifically, it represents the number of homes sold. Okay, so number of homes sold or number of houses, something that's descriptive and showcasing not just that this is counting something, but what it's counting. Okay, frequency is pretty generic. It can apply to anything. We want to be descriptive and communicate the information very clearly. All I'm doing right now is kind of bolding these labels to help them stand out. If you just click on any part of the chart, come hit this bold option, you can see that those do bold. Okay, we can even bold here our data labels. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is give this bar chart a title, okay, where this pie chart is showing the frequency distribution of borough. This bar chart down here is, the percent distribution of borough, this bar chart is showing the frequency distribution because it's representing these frequency counts. Okay, so frequency distribution of borough. Okay, where each height is drawn to the frequency of that category. And again, this chart does not show our sample size in any area that we can easily see. Okay, we don't want to have to manually add all these frequency counts above the bars. So we'll just add it right there into the chart to be as descriptive as possible. Okay, after that, we can go through the customization exercises of adding some shading. This is not a requirement. As long as you have descriptive titles, axis labels, all that kind of stuff, you're good to go. Okay, so this is just me playing around. One thing that I think is pretty cool, let me show you, is that you can color the bars. Okay, I can see all of these up here have these cool colors, and I can actually do the same thing with my bars if I isolate them, so that when these two charts are side by side, it's really easy to tell which category belongs where. So Somerset, we can see, is this green color. If I double click that bar to where just that bar is highlighted, just that bar has those resizers around it, then I can right click and change the fill here. Okay, it's actually this green fill, and if you're using the theme that was part of your Excel, it's going to be using these colors right at the top here. So this Somerset is green. I can click on Northridge and fill that in with the purple. I can click on North Ames and fill that in with this blue color. Crawford, we can fill that in with this dark green color. And you can change the colors in the pie chart in the very same way. Okay, and then Brookdale, I think, is already the color that it would be. Okay, so now when I look at the pie chart and the bar chart, it's easy to draw the connections where these categories are in each of the visualizations. Okay, the next thing I might want to do is widen the bars. They look a little bit skinny in this space. Again, just a formatting option, nothing that's required. Okay, if I click on the bars to where every bar is highlighted, I see over here that on my format panel, this series options pops up. All I need to do is just scale that gap width option a little far back, and voila, I have bars that are wider, that kind of stand alone. We don't want the bars to touch, but we do want them to be well represented within the space. Okay, so that's how we create the bar chart. Okay, let's now repeat this process for our ordinal categorical variable. Again, just going to select the labels and the frequency counts, okay, for each category, not the total row, not the column headers. Go to our insert ribbon, go to our chart panels, select this 2D column chart here. Okay, and then we'll drag it down to the bottom. Okay, so everything's kind of neatly organized within our worksheet. We'll add our axis titles. We'll add some data labels. Okay, this axis down here represents overall quality. This axis title here we know represents number of homes sold. This is showing our frequency distribution of overall quality. Put that sample size there. Okay, and then next, just cleaning up and formatting. Okay, this is all that's required that you see here. If you want to add some additional formatting, that is totally up to you. Never hurts to get a little bit of practice. Okay. I am just cleaning it up. But again, if you're satisfied with how it comes out in kind of its basic form, that's okay too. Okay, let's see if we can change the colors of these to the same colors of my pie chart above. I believe I selected this one. Okay, that just kind of shades everything the same, which is fine. Okay, we can see that order, but at least it's consistent. Maybe we'll reduce the gap width a little bit. Okay, bold those labels and the title. Okay, looks pretty good. Now all of these charts and tables are ready to go in a report. The last thing that we need to do is do some interpretation. If you look back at that lab instruction document right past this, it has all three visualizations for borough and ways that we can discuss the distribution. This just showcases your understanding of what you're looking at and your ability to communicate it to someone else.